man simply dipped his hand into some invisible fluorescent ink and drew a smiley face on the table. To his surprise, when he shone an ultraviolet light on it, the smiley face that had been invisible moments before suddenly appeared on the table. Realizing that this method would work, Kage quickly dipped a silver coin into the fluorescent ink, let it dry, and placed it in a gift box, which he then posted anonymously to the local museum curator. Sure enough, the moment the curator saw the coin, she picked it up to examine it. From the instant she touched the coin, she had fallen into the trap Cage had set. Just then, his accomplice, disguised as a visitor, entered the museum, picked up the camera he was holding and began filming everywhere, then used the camera's laser to hit the alarm device inside the safe, deliberately triggering the alarm, causing the Declaration of Independence in the display case to be transported directly to the museum's underground vault. As the alarm sounded, the curator rushed to the vault and entered the code on the keypad at the entrance, without noticing that fluorescent powder had already been applied to the keys. Once the curator had entered the vault, the accomplice slipped into the museum's server room and disabled the museum's surveillance system. Shortly afterwards, Cage disguised himself as a maintenance worker and slipped into the museum. Upon reaching the toilets, he changed into a suit, dressing himself up as a guest at the gala. He then deliberately struck up a conversation with the museum director and handed him a glass of wine. As the director downed the drink in one gulp, Cage seized the opportunity to take the glass from him, turned and walked away, discarding the remaining wine. Taking advantage of the distraction, he made his way to the toilets, took out the fingerprint extractant he had prepared, dripped it onto a piece of medical cotton, then placed both the cotton and the glass into a sealed bag. Within a mere minute, the fingerprints on the glass were clearly visible. To complete his grand plan, Kage put on a pair of microgloves and lifted the fingerprint from the glass. He then made his way to the lift leading to the underground vault, using the fingerprint to unlock the lift's combination lock. As the lift brought him to the vault entrance, he swiftly relayed the letters on the fluorescent powdered keypad to his accomplice. As his accomplice entered these letters into the computer, the correct combination for the vault was quickly cracked. In the next instant, the vault doors swung open. He walked over to the safe, pulled back the white cloth, and directly stuffed the Declaration of Independence, worth $5 million, into a plastic bag. Then, pretending nothing had happened, he left the museum. Little did he know that the curator had witnessed his actions, but the curator did not expose him on the spot, because she too wanted to know whether, on the reverse side of the Declaration of Independence, there was the legendary treasure map. Kage's original intention was to protect the treasure from falling into the wrong hands. The man rubbed a cotton bud repeatedly against a lemon. Once the cotton bud had been thoroughly soaked in lemon juice, he swiftly smeared it across the back of the Declaration of Independence. However, once the Declaration of Independence was completely soaked, unexpectedly, in the very next second, a series of patterns instantly appeared on the back of the Declaration of Independence. They discovered that these numbers were not coordinates at all, but rather resembled the design specifications of a US dollar bill. So Cage immediately produced a dollar bill, using a mineral water bottle as a magnifying glass, and spotted an image of the Liberty Bell. Noticing that the clock on the bell was pointing to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Cage immediately set off for the memorial with his companions, and at that very moment, the clock at the memorial read exactly 2 o'clock. They saw that the roof of the bell tower pointed towards a wall. Kage approached the foot of the wall, and immediately spotted a red brick engraved with a distinctive pattern. The moment he removed the brick, a pair of antique spectacles worth $5 million appeared before his eyes. To determine the purpose of these spectacles, Kage returned home, where his companion unfolded the Declaration of Independence. To their astonishment, the document, which had previously been blank, suddenly displayed strange three-dimensional patterns. Moreover, by adjusting the angle of the spectacles, the patterns on the page would shift accordingly. After studying these patterns, Kage discovered that they depicted a church in New York. Realizing there must be treasure within this church, Kage and his team traveled to the church in New York. They smashed the priest's gravestone, and, upon lifting the coffin, discovered that the tomb was a bottomless secret passage. The group slowly made their way to the depths of the tomb. After slowly opening the stone door, everyone was utterly stunned by the sight before them. The crypt was filled to the brim with gold, silver and jewels. After leaving the crypt, he donated the treasure in batches to major museums, and his daughter, the museum curator, went on to live a happy and fulfilling life.